And in one of the Seretse Khama, our first president, interview after the election in 1965, he talks about living together harmoniously with white people, right?
Yes.
Was it because he married a white woman, or was it because he was influenced by his stay in the UK?
Yeah, I think that, going back to what he said at the time, we look back and focus on the black and white aspect of it, but he was actually speaking more in the humanist sense, that whatever color you are a human being and you matter equally. His private politics of marrying a white woman and living in the UK and being exposed to, the harsh apartheid in South Africa as a student, and then also experiencing how white people were different in Botswana in their treatment of black people, I think definitely gave him that foundation. But I really believe that he was speaking more for all colors. It's just that at the time, it was important to say black and white because Botswana was surrounded by racist regimes. So we had to speak for humanism along the lines of black and white. But I think the message now, as is interpreted by my generation, is that it's more inclusive than white and black, which is why my book, We Are All Blue, is that blue is the color of water, and everyone needs water to survive. Everyone is made up of water. So it's a way to look beyond the language of the time of black and white to see what was really meant.
And since we're talking about the legacy of our first president, and in the same interview, and it is also in your book, because I saw that part in your book, he said he was not going to help create an opposition, even though he would love to have it, since it would straighten up his government or the government. But on the contrary, we saw his son in this last election opting to strengthen the opposition by creating a new party. Every child wants to protect his father's legacy. Do you think President Ian's desperate to move was to try to purge dirty stains from Seretse Khama's legacy?
No, in a word. And I say so because I look at every president individually. They all faced very different challenges, and they all led a different Botswana. So when I see, President Khama the first, I find very little to connect with President Khama the second, who came in second, because I find that the challenges of establishing a republic from colonial rule are quite different. And then the challenges of the second Khama of leading the country through an economic crisis and leading Botswana at a time when they are most politicized is completely different. So I don't see much of sort of in President Ian Khama's presidency, I don't see much of trying to look back to address anybody else's presidency. I think it has its own way of doing things and its own legacy.